And we were happy to invite him right here on Yes FM. He's joining us on the phone lines. Hello, sir. How are you, KJ?
I'm doing great. Thank you guys for having me on. It's also my best Christmas album.
Yes. The first one, the best one.
But then wouldn't it be your worst too, though?
Simultaneously.
Yes. Would it be technically your most asbestos?
And my most grammatically incorrect. Simultaneously. Yes.
Now, several years ago, you had a Christmas song talking about Christmas in Florida. Oh.
Yes. Yes. That's true.
It's hard down
Yeah,
there.
I didn't know what else to talk about, man. So I just, sell what you know.
Yeah.
A lot of this album is like that too. But it was a lot of fun.
You open your Christmas gifts, then you go to the beach. I mean, that's pretty much what we do up here. Only our beach
Right.
is
You
frozen
fight a
and covered in
manatee
ice.
And you beat up a gator. Yes, all the stereotypes are true.
Well,
Thanks for having me on, though, guys.
Oh.
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays early. How about that?
All right,
Same
there you go.
to you,
Merry
and
Christmas to you, sir.
Thanks for getting up early with this morning, or you're probably already up, huh?
Oh, I got kids. I'm definitely up early.
Well, as we talk about the album, first let's talk about the video to that song that we just played. Hilarious.
Yeah.
So were you looked like you were able to get in the mall before it was open, or just on a slow day?
Funny story about that. So we could not get permission from various malls we reached out to in the Orlando area, and we're like, you know what? Forgiveness is easier than permission. So we started shooting. First shot only lasted about 10 minutes before we were told to leave. Then we went to a whole other spot just on a whim. That's where we found the animals. And I was like, look, we're shooting on this right now. I don't care if we get thrown out in 10 seconds. And sure enough, we were thrown out in just about 10 seconds. And then we got permission, and they said, you can shoot for as long as you want all day. So we rode those around for another 3 hours. And then I went to a whole other separate place, which was actually a mall that had shut down. That's where all the extras showed up, and we shot outside. But before they even got there, we got shut down again.
A mall that was closed?
It was, well, it's I don't know if you've ever been to, I didn't even know this existed, but deadmalls.com. It's one of those dead malls, and 90% of the mall was shut down, so we thought, well, we'll shoot outside. We should be able to, without any problems. Man, sure enough, 10 minutes in, people, they're like, what are you doing? You can't do that. And then we just talked to them, and they were like, all right, fine, we'll bring your group over. So the whole video was actually shot with only about 20 extras.
Okay.
So when you see them all going in front of me and behind me, that's the same people just walking around back and forth, back and forth. But we sped it up to make it look like they were, there was more than that. So, yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of stress, and then simultaneously, that's what the holidays are. So,
Yeah, it fits the song, I guess.
exactly.
Did you ever get your Cinnabon? That's the question, though.
We were trying to find one in the mall. They didn't actually have one. There was no way to actually put it in the video. But once I tweeted about it, and I told all the fans, I was like, look, just add them. I did it more of as a joke. And, man, they responded to me in like an hour. Sent me a huge box, which is sitting in my living room right now, and I got to send it out to my winner. So I said whoever shares the video the most got the Cinnabon. So I'm a little regretful, buyer's remorse, but
You got to ship out your Cinnabon.
I did get my Cinnabon.
Well, there you go. So it wasn't a wasted day. That's
Not at all. It's a great time.
Well, helping you out on the album is Spec House. Tell us about Spec House.
So Spec is a producer I've known for a couple years now. When I kind of came up with the idea, he really got it, and he said, well, why don't we do it as if it's like an artist-producer record? Because I'll produce, the majority of it. And that's basically what he did, and so that's why it's kind of listed like that. So it's, look, it's not easy to pull this kind of music off in a way that's like current but traditional simultaneously. So what we did is we actually went to songs that were public domain, and we kind of take like the hip hop aesthetic and like sample them and then kind of rework them. So honestly, it was super easy. Like, it was the fastest record I've ever written. Got the whole thing done basically about 2 weeks.
wow.
And so he was a big part of that. So like even anything where you hear like I'm driving in the car, all the soundscapes, the whole thing, like he created that from scratch. I don't have any kids with me in the songs and stuff, so he like really just did an amazing job.
So lyrically, because you're drawing on. I mean, you're a dad. You've got kids. You're
right.
I don't know the age of your kids, but I'm sure you're probably in the midst of they're probably still in the midst of that holiday. I got kids, from 13 to 4, so it gets a little insane, about Christmas. They go nuts.
I have no idea.
Yeah, they go nuts around this time. So I'm sure drawing just on your life, did that make it easier lyrically just to kind of pull all this together?
Well, that's the thing. At first, I'm like, what am I going to talk about, right? You know what I mean? Like, how am I going to... Like, that was the biggest problem. That's probably why I've never done any real Christmas albums or Christmas songs except for, like, one of them. And then I thought, wait a minute, no, just write from your own experience. There's probably somebody going through the same thing. And it's funny, someone tweeted me the other day, they're like, you spoke for every man out there that has a voice. So yeah, exactly. My oldest is 11, the youngest is 3, the middle one is 7. So, like, I just started thinking about that and putting myself, and part of it was like putting myself in the place of this fictional character. We call him Dave, and Dave is on vacation in Florida. So a lot of the songs are written from Dave's perspective, like, what is Dave going through right now? And then I just took that character and went a little more extreme with it.
Well, and
like the Cinnabon line. So the Cinnabon line, I was thinking, what's Dave done? Dave is stuck in the mall right now, just being dragged everywhere. What's the one thing that's going to bring Dave joy? And it's like, he sees the Cinnabon. Like, it's happiness. So, yeah, there you go. Sorry.
There's salvation for Dave, a Cinnabon.
That's Dave. Dave's going to make it.
Well, and kids just go nuts. They're crazy from now until January. Crazier than normal.
Yes.
They just are insane at this time of the year.
And we fail to forget that we were probably the exact same way.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, so yeah, again, this was an experiment. It was a lot of fun. The response has been really, really good, and so yeah, I'm really loving it.
Now, is your wife the one that would drag you to the mall shopping, or?
I think after 20 years of marriage, she gave up.
So she was probably excited to do the video then, huh?
Right. I was drawing from previous experiences early on. So yeah.
All right. Well, where did cats come in your previous experiences? Because one song has cats in it.
So again, going back to the theme, I haven't done a thematic record in a long time. So it's like, okay, we'll make a very light theme. So Dave's kind of trying to find songs on the radio as he's driving. So I figured, I used to have this. I still do. I have this crazy uncle who's a DJ who would send me these mixtapes at Christmas of just random Christmas songs. And there was always something on there that was so left of center that I couldn't just help but not laugh. So I just thought, you know what? Dave actually stumbles over Meowie Christmas, and it's cats redoing, We Wish You a Merry Christmas. So, but, obviously he's disgusted and he changes the channel. That's really all that was. It wasn't that deep.
But you do, there's a lot of fun, and it's a funny album. There's a lot of humor on it. But you also, you do focus in on the reason for the season, on Jesus, and as you do in all your music.
Absolutely.
So how do you bring that in? It's obviously lighthearted, it's fun, but you also want to focus in on the gospel message. How do you bring that into that context?
Honestly, it wasn't that hard, because it's like, again, just reflecting on the whole Christmas season, Like, that's all I wanted to do was just run the whole gamut. So, I'm also a communications pastor at my church, so part of that is just extrapolating on what the gospel is. And so I thought, what if I took a song like Silent Night, but sort of deconstructed maybe some of the things that we think about the Christmas story, and maybe put it in a more contextual light. And so that's just the pastor side of me kind of going, Mary was probably a teenager and Joseph was a little older, and, his name wasn't Jesus when he was born, it was Yeshua. Just not trying to pop everybody's bubbles per se, but just sometimes we just need a little bit of cool little anecdotes or things like that. So again, that's all it was. I didn't want to just do a silly album, because I'm not just, that's just one part of my personality. So that's all it really came to.
And there is a song that I'm going to start playing to my kids every night from now until Christmas. Go to bed. I'm not even going to tell them anymore. I'm just going to get this. I'm going to put it on the radio and go. Here, you hear the song, go.
Again, I speak for every man who has no voice. That's what I'm here to do.
You're a voice for the voiceless.
A voice for the voiceless. Yeah, again, like, somebody chopped that song up, the original, and kind of messed with it. And look, there's a part of me too that loves like really bad lounge music. So I thought, what if I was sort of this lounge singer guy? Yes, buddy, what's up? She went to work. You want some waffles? Sorry.
That's fine. That's fine. I just feel like I'm at home.
Truth is stranger than fiction. Yeah, so that's all it was. And I just remembered a couple Christmases where I'm like, why? Listen, the joy is in the morning, not right now. Go to sleep. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's where go to bed came from. But, yeah.
By the way, can we get in on those waffles?
Yeah, because
I think we're all out. He's a pancake kid. I don't know what I was thinking.
well, let's look back at earlier in the year. Past year, you had Jonah Part 2 and also a movie about Jonah.
Yes. Yeah, it's been a busy year. I'm going a little crazy this year, but yeah, Jonah Part 2 was kind of in conjunction with the movie, the documentary, and you know, I think just part of the way we consume media now, it's just so much faster. I've always been the type to like write quickly and always have things to say. Creating for me is just like my second nature. So now that I'm completely independent, I kind of run my own show. It's like, why not drop records almost every quarter? And that's kind of what I've been doing. So it's been a lot of fun. I mean, there's no restrictions, and the fans love it. So, and they support it. So might as well go with it.
You going to take that into the new year? That same concept?
You know, I always say, nah, I'm done. I got to take a break. And then something happens. I think probably what I'm going to do into the new year is I'm going to write my first book.
Oh, wow.
And it might be a book and an album simultaneously. Maybe the songs will illustrate the book. But the book is going to be about, it's called So What Happened Was. And it's just a collection of, like, stories, you know, things that really happened on the road or with the song or in my life. And that's been the last bucket list I've been trying to check off.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, we'll look forward to that because I'm sure you have some wonderful and very funny stories to tell.
Yeah, I've been using the last year to just keep jotting down ideas and things to talk about. And yeah, so that's, you know, like when you were asking me about the video, you know, so my answer is, well, what happened was, like that again, that's kind of the idea.
We're talking with KJ52. He has a new Christmas album, his very first Christmas album, The Mostest Wonderfulest Time of the Year.
I think I get more joy from other people saying the title than when I actually wrote it, because it sounds so ridiculous. I'm sure my language arts teacher is not happy with me.
Oh, it sounds like one of my son's reports.
Yep.
I like Christmas because it's the mostest wonderfulest time of the year.
This is not a word, young man.
Hey, KJ, if folks want to find out more information about this album, find out about other albums that you have, other work that you have, check out all your stuff, how can they do so?
Well, obviously, you know, I'm on just social media-wise. You can just type in my name. Pretty much brings it up on any social media platform. You can also go to Patreon. I run a Patreon page where I kind of do exclusive stuff just for my patrons, patreon.com/KJ52. Or if you just want the music, you can go directly to me at my website, which is KJ52.com/store. So.
And the new Christmas album, not on CD, right? Just digital download?
No, it is on CD.
On CD, okay.
Hey, KJ, thanks so much for spending some time with us this morning. We appreciate it.
My pleasure. Always appreciate you guys. Thank you.